Let's go ahead and replace our exterior driver's side door handle, located right here on the outside of your driver's door. Now, inside of your door panel, you're going to have two T15 Torx plastic inserts right here. There's one here, there's one down below. Let's go ahead and loosen these here. And as you're loosening those there, they're going to slowly come on out. And they're plastic buttons, so they're fragile. You want to be careful with those. I'm going to use a pick here to go ahead and assist this coming out. Go ahead and pull out that little plastic button there. And then I'm going to use my pick and get behind here and pop out the back half of that. And it's just a little plastic retainer button. Do this for both. We're going to go ahead and use our plastic trim tool. We're going to go right underneath the edge here and gently pry this up and out. Going to work this out. And it's going to expose a little red clip on the back side. Now this is a little locking clip. Once again, I'm going to go ahead and use my plastic trim tool. Just pry that up. And then come on the bottom and there's a little tab you can pinch and pull. Wiggle that connector out. Right behind our door handle is a little access cover. I'm going to go ahead and use a small pick. Come on here, and I'm just going to pop this little cover out. Go ahead and set this cover aside. It's going to expose a Phillips head screw right here. Simply grab your Phillips head screwdriver. We're going to use our plastic trim tool. I'm going to go ahead and remove this plastic cover right here. Just pry out gently, and this will snap right off by popping these little clips. Set that aside. Let's go ahead and remove our two inboard T15 plastic Torx inserts here. You're almost going to twist and pull at the same time, and it'll unscrew. That'll pop out. We're going to use the pick as well to go ahead and pull out the base. Pop that out. Let's go ahead and do the same for the bottom one. Let's go ahead and remove the two plastic inserts across our bottom as well. We're going to use our plastic trim tool. Let's pop off the trim bezel here for our handle. Now let's go ahead and grab the door panel, lift it straight up and off. We're going to go ahead and use a 5mm socket, and we're going to go ahead and remove the 4 screws holding our speaker in place. Go ahead and pull your speaker out, and on the back side, you can have your little connector right here. There's a little tab on the back, just going to pinch and pull. Go ahead and pop that off, set your speaker aside. Right on the bottom right here, we're going to have another connector, just going to pinch and pull. Going to going to use our trim tool. Go ahead and work this out here. Pop that out of that connector. We're just going to work our way around popping our harness out and around. Using our trim tool, we're going to release the little plastic buttons that are holding the rest of our harness in place. Just going to release our little clips here. Pushing this out. I'm going to go ahead and disconnect our connector here from our power window motor. Pinch on this little tab here and pull that off. At the top of our door panel, it's going to be another plastic retainer button here. Just going to get up underneath with our trim tool, pop that out to release that. Our module right here has 4 connectors going to it. I want to go ahead and disconnect these 4 down this side here, and there's a 5th one on this side right here. Let's go ahead and loosen and remove all of these. These are just pinch tabs, so pinch and pull. This should allow you to free up that harness like so. Let's go ahead and reconnect your master window switch here. You want to go ahead and turn the key to the on position. Once we do that, you want to access right behind this plastic cover right here. It literally just pops right out. What we're going to do is we're going to operate our window until we can get the window clip to the regulator lined up in the middle here. Now in our case, we're going to go ahead and raise our window, and this is our clip that we need to gain access to. You're going to gain access to the second clip behind the door speaker. So ideal spot is having this clip unit right near the lower corner here. There's going to be 2 little spring clips inside that we need to gain access to. And one is right here, and the other one is right in the back here. So there are 2 clips we need to release. You want to go ahead and gain access to behind the door speaker, and there's going to be a similar clip. We're going to go ahead and release both of those. At that point there, the glass should be loose. We can go ahead and separate the glass from the regulator. We're going to manually lift up the glass and tape the glass into position. Go ahead and disconnect your master window switch and set that aside. Now using our small pocket screwdriver here, there are 2 tabs that we want to press in on. You want to be careful with this because this is plastic. We want to use one hand, we're going to reach in, we're going to support the bottom edge of the glass. We're going to press in on this tab just to the left of the window regulator bracket. Press in and apply some light upward pressure. Come on through this hole here, and there's a second tab. Apply a little bit of upward pressure as you're pressing in on this. And that is going to separate our regulator here. I want to go ahead and do the same process on the other side behind that door speaker that we already removed. And it may be helpful to have a second set of hands to hold that glass up top while you disconnect that and then pull the glass upward. Now that we released our 2 clips inside here, we can go ahead and push our glass upward. And here's a good point where you can use some tape or something to support this up in place. Now you can use some masking tape or something to stick on the side of the glass, go up and over the door and on the other side. If you use tape, you want to use multiple pieces of tape around. You don't want the glass to drop down inside the door. It could injure you and even break. In our case here, we're using some suction cups with some cable units here designed for this type of job. Now inside of our door panel here, there are going to be 2 clips. One is pink, one is orange, and these are locking clips to hold our actuator rods. we're simply going to reach in and want to go ahead and pop those little clips. They just go off to the side, and then you can pull that rod out. Do the same for the orange one. Using a T30 Torx bit, let's go ahead and loosen and remove these 3 screws right here. Go ahead and set those 3 screws aside. Around the perimeter of our interior door panel here, we have 12 of these 10mm bolts here. Let's go ahead, loosen and remove all of those. Let's go ahead and reach behind our panel, and we're just going to gently pull our door panel out and away. And our latch mechanism should come through. Work our boot through here. This might give us a little more room. Let's go ahead and drop our panel down and around our harness. Once we get that loose, we should be able to set this down. To make things easier, we went ahead and just get a little step stool here to rest our door panel on. Now that we have access to the back side of our door handle here, we have those 2 rods that we had disconnected down from the door latch itself. Now up top here, we have a pink connector here, and we have a black one. These are important that they go in the correct location. This one here is thicker than the one in the back. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little black mark on this here so that I know this rod connects to the upper portion up here, and it goes to the black connector. Not necessary, but it's easier for me to remember that. And then we're going to disconnect these clips. I'm going to reach on in here, press in, disconnect that clip, and then you can pull that rod out, set that aside. We're going to do the same for the other rod. Just going to push that clip. Pop that out, pull that out, set that aside. On the back side here, we have 3 8mm bolts. Let's go ahead and loosen and remove those. Please keep in mind when you do loosen these here that the door handle may fall out from the front. At this point here, we can go ahead and gently work that door handle out from the front. What you want to do is take your lock cylinder. We're going to kind of get that in there, but you don't have to push it in all the way. Leave it a little bit loose. It's going to help us get this handle up and into place. When you pull on the handle, it's going to allow this backside to open up. Fit that right inside. There you have it. At this point here, with the handle set in place, you can go ahead and grab the backside of it and hold it. And we're going to go ahead and get our 3 8mm screws started back in. Once we get all 3 of these started, we go ahead and snug those down. You just want to snug these down here. You don't have to have them super tight. These are going into the backside of plastic, so you don't want to over tighten it and crack the handle. I'm going to go ahead and install our rearward actuator rod. I'm going to put that in. I'm going to fold our clip down, snap that right into place. Then we have our other actuator rod we had marked with the black marker. It's also the thicker rod. So we're going to go ahead and fit that into the backside of the handle. Pull that clip forward, snap that into place. Let's go ahead and grab our door panel, and we're going to push our little stool aside there. What we're going to do is tip our door panel down, get it behind the harness, and we're going to feed our door latch unit in behind. Bring up the regulator up into position. Let's go ahead and bring up the back section here around that harness. Now that we have our panel in place, we're simply going to grab a couple screws and install them across the top portion of the door to hold the panel in place. Install your 3 screws here for your door latch unit. Once we get these started, I'm going to go ahead and snug those down. At this point here, we can go ahead and install the rods into our clips. At this point here, we get our orange clip and rod attached. Let's go ahead and get the pink one. Go ahead and install the rest of your door panel bolts. Get them all started by hand. Now that we have all these started, let's go ahead and tighten them all down. At this point here, I want to go ahead and lower our glass down into position. I'm going to go ahead and release our suction cups here. I'm going to slowly lower this down. Let's go ahead and lower the glass down into our regulator down below. As we slide this down into the regulator, we should be able to go ahead and get this fed into our guide here. And it'll drop right in, and you'll hear it clicking on both sides through the speaker port and through this port here. Just push up on that glass a little bit and you can feel it is engaged into our regulator clips. Once those are locked in, you can now go ahead and close this port. Let's go ahead and install our speaker. Pop that in. Let's go ahead and feed this down. Our harness itself will pop into place down below here. You want to insert our little plastic retainer button into the back here. Get our speaker lined up, and we'll get our screws started. Let's go ahead and get all four of these started, and then we'll go ahead and snug these down. Make sure that that wire harness is in that notch right there. You don't want to pinch those wires. Snug that down. I'm going to go to the opposite corner. Just snug them down. Take your harness from down below here, line this up, press that on, and you'll hear that click into place. Up top here, we have our power window motor harness right here. Line that up, snap that in. Up top here, let's go ahead and install our harness. Install our little plastic button up top here. I'm going to go ahead and pull our little grommet through here. We had loosened this just to give us a little more flexibility when pulling that door panel down. Okay, it's in place. On the back side of our door panel, you're going to have these tabs like this here all the way around the back side. So we're going to lift up the door panel, set it down, and the tabs will fit into notches like this here. So you want to make sure that all these tabs are fit in, and that is what's going to help that door panel stay in place. As we feed it up, we're going to feed our power window switch through the back side and up through the pocket right here. Catch our door lock rod right here. Feed that through. Let's go ahead and push our door panel inward and drop it down into place. Check all the way around the perimeter. Make sure it's nice and tight. You don't want to have any gaps where you can put a finger in. We're locked into place. Let's go ahead and install our retainer buttons. I'm going to go ahead and install our push button base. Pop that in, take the centerpiece, push that right in. Let's go ahead and repeat for the other 5. We have our 2 in the front. Just going to install our trim here. Line that up. Snap that into place. Go ahead and install our Phillips head screw on the back side. We'll go ahead and snug that down. Once that screw is tight, let's go ahead and install our trim panel here. Install the bottom little tab, and then we'll press up and snap it into place. Take your power window switch, line this up, snip it in, press your lock on. Line this up, drop it right down in, and press it in. At this point here, you do want to go ahead and turn the key to the on position, test the operation of your window, as well as all of your other switches. That's working well. We're going to test our features here, as well as all of our other windows. Let's go ahead and install our upper trim bezel right here. Install our lower clips right here. And the upper tabs will go up into the door panel itself. Let's go ahead and test the door handle.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.